Hi guys, Everyday Knife Guy here, and you probably clicked on the link expecting a video of a Spyderco, so I'm sorry to disappoint. This is actually a Victorinox Classic video. I'm only joking, but would you believe me if I said that the Spyderco we're looking at today is on the screen already? Those more observant among you may notice there's a certain shadow on the screen, which is probably a bit of a giveaway of what we're looking at, because underneath this little guy is one of the smallest knives I've ever shown on the channel, I think. This is Spyderco Dog Tag. This is the carbon fiber version, and if you're not familiar with these, Spyderco currently produces three dog tags in this style. They actually just came out with a new square head style, but three in this style, which is based on a custom, and it also does a mid-tech version, I think, of Serge Pachenko's design. He does a lot of very cool little custom small knives, larger knives. Very well respected designer in the custom knife community. And Spyderco teamed up with him to do dog tag design. I will show you in the current catalogue what they have. These are the ones they do currently. So you can see the original one they did was in this titanium anodized aluminum version, in that sort of pale green and blue. Then did the blacked out version of that, again titanium aluminum. And new here is the carbon fiber version. You can see the stats at the bottom here. These are all CPM S30V, blade length 1.23 inches, so not very big at all. And the overall size is actually even smaller than I thought it was going to be. These are slip joints. I think the new tag they came out with is locking, but these are all slip joints. And they have the signature Spidey opening hole. They are technically one-handed openers. As I say, smaller than I expected. That's in comparison with Victorinox Classic size. Now I know it is a dog tag, so I should have expected it to be pretty small, but I was thinking it'd be more kind of Zippo sized. You can see there the Zippo absolutely dwarfs it, and thickness wise, very, very thin. So it is a really neat little knife, would easily fit in the coin pocket of your jeans. Could easily be worn as a dog tag. You can see there's a hole there if you're into that kind of thing. Maybe you're looking for a neck knife that is more just kind of an emergency blade rather than a day-to-day pull it out and use it. So this would be a perfect neck knife. You could put that on your keychain. You could have that in a little lanyard in your pocket. A million little uses for this thing. Very, very cool little piece. This one is, as I say, the G10 carbon fiber laminate. You can see their beautiful style, similar to on the Domino and a few other Spyderco knives. We have a little pivot here. You can see that's the thickest part of the knife. Little chisel ground blade of CPM S30V, if it'll focus. This one is made in Taichung, Taiwan, so it has the 3D looking spider logo on there. You can see Spyderco written around the pivot. And if you hold it this way, so you have the dog tag hole nearest you, you can actually do one-handed opening fairly easily. You hear it snap into place there. As I say, it is a slip joint, but it does have this spring piece in the middle, so that actually holds it closed quite well and actually holds it open. So there's definitely a bit of resistance. You can hear the detent there. It's a ball bearing detent. So it snaps into place really nicely. As you push it open, you have to really force with your thumb to break that detent. Nice and smooth on the pivot, and then listen for the snap at the end. Snaps into place. So it's not locked, but there is definitely resistance there. You can feel that. You can see the blade edge there. I don't know if I mentioned this is chisel ground. See, totally flat on that side. You can see there the maker's mark of Serge Pachenko, who I think is Belarusian or Russian, and Taichung, Taiwan. As usual, it's stamped in that particular font that Spyderco uses. And you can see a really nice little knife, actually quite attractive when it's open. Very simple design. Still got the factory oil on it there. I actually bought this as a gift for someone, so I'm going to be sending it off to him shortly, and I won't post this video until he's received it, but I might have to pick up one of these for myself because I really, really like it. I'm not really a neck knife guy at all, but I would definitely carry one of these as kind of a backup blade. Perfect little package opener or letter opener. Small EDC tasks. You can get a fairly nice hold on it there. You could actually even hold it with your thumb in the thumb hole if you were shaving something, just to give you that extra kind of force to keep it open. So again, let's do size comparison with the blade open. Just a little bit longer than that Victorinox Classic. Really hardly any thicker, so it takes up very little space. There it is with the Zippo. You can see there how thin it is. Really neat little package. The carbon fiber G10 feels really solid. I actually prefer the design of this in terms of the layout to the aluminum and titanium versions. They have a separate, this piece here, this raised piece, is actually separate, and they have two little screws, one there and one there. And you can see those screws on the back. The design of this is very simple. You have two little Torx head screws there, which basically secure that spring plate. You have the pivot, and that's literally it. That's all that's going on with this piece of laminated G10 carbon fiber. So this one's even simpler in design than the other two, and I really like that. I think it looks really neat. So let's close it up again for you. So again, you can pinch the back piece with this hand. There's a couple little grooves milled in there for you to get a hold of, and then use that thumb to open, like so. Or I'd say as you get used to it, you can certainly use the tips of these fingers here just to press on the back piece, and then use the pressure of your thumb to do that one-handed opening. So let's go ahead and test sharpness. Got some phone book paper here. It's a little bit tricky with it being a chisel ground. I don't know much about chisel ground knives. I don't think I've ever actually owned one. Now what I did when I tested this before, I actually found cutting in that direction, so you don't have the bevel on this side, of course. Cutting in that direction would hang up. Now that makes sense to me in that it should probably, this is more designed for cutting in that way, so that the bevel is kind of cutting down into the paper. So I find it very difficult being right-handed. Well, actually, if you're left-handed, I guess you'd be cutting away like that, wouldn't you? Can we do that? I'm so incompetent with my left hand, I probably can't even do that. No, I'm just absolutely useless with my left hand. So we're going to have to go right-handed. Anyone who knows anything about chisel ground knives can chip in on whether that is actually true. You should be cutting with the bevel on the upside rather than the downside. I find that it is fairly sharp. I do find it hangs up a little, and I think that is due to, as I say, to the bevel rather than anything else. What about if we just cut straight down this way? Yeah, I mean, it's making quite a nice clean cut. I'm just finding it a little bit difficult with the style of the edge, I think. Yeah, it definitely will cut. And of course, it's not very easy being a 1-inch long blade, but in terms of cutting tape on a package or something, drawing it towards you like that, I think is going to be fairly easy. Let me just grab a piece of copier paper and we'll try that. Slightly stiffer paper might give us a little bit better idea. Yeah, so apart from the restriction of the edge of the length of the blade, yeah, it certainly seems to be cutting that quite nicely. Yeah, definitely sharp. Would take a bit of getting used to, I think. And as I say, for me, this would probably be a neck knife carry, which is something I don't normally use. A neck knife carry for emergencies if for some reason I was caught without another knife or whatever, which is pretty unlikely considering the number of blades I normally carry on myself, but certainly as a small useful curio or a little collectible, very, very cool, I think. I really like the style of it. I love carbon fiber and I think the look of it is pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely a nice little piece. Not too expensive these days. I'm not sure what they are in the US. I think I paid about 75 Canadian for this shipped, which doesn't seem too bad for a Spyderco product, and the blade steel and all the rest, although they're not really giving you very much S30V for that money, but it is what it is. And yeah, cool little piece. I'm just going to give you one more look at the other ones in the in the Spyderco book. Let's see if I can find them. Here we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, the dog tag folders, you see there's no screws there on this one. If you look at these designs, there's a screw there and there, which means on the reverse you have a couple of little extra screw holes. You also have the little slots here on the sides of the locking, well not the locking, but the spring tension bar. I actually prefer the plain back on this one. I mean, if that was used as a dog tag and that was against you, so this was on the outside, it just looks like a piece of carbon fiber. It doesn't even look like a knife blade. This one here, same style. Again, you have the slits on either side of that detent bar. Just a little bit different design. And this one has kind of that polished back pin on the pivot. If you look at this one here, it's all blacked out. This one here is blacked out as well. And this one, of course, they have the two-tone. I do quite like the green and the blue. I think that's a pretty neat little design. But again, you have these 2 extra screws there. Just a little bit different. So take your pick. All 3 I think are pretty cool. Very neat little collectible, as I say. And yeah, if you're looking for an emergency little blade or just a little collectible or something for your pocket or the watch pocket or coin pocket in your jeans or whatever, then I definitely recommend. So that's it, guys. That is the Spyderco dog tag carbon fiber, and I might pick up one of these for myself, in which case I'll probably look to get a different style from this so I can show you that as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back with more videos soon, and have a great day.